Hey guys, Dean of Games. Want to take another look at Vindication. Fantastic game. Really enjoying it. Put up by Orange Nebula. Great looking box cover, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. If you watched my other video, I already did a little on that. I'm going to go ahead and move this and get into the actual insides of the box. So let me start with the book. Very high quality. The book looks like this. How about that glare? Here we go. This walks you through the glare again. Tells you some of the stuff you can do. The premise is you're stranded on an island. You've either been washed overboard, you've been thrown off your boat. And I like to, if you're playing with more than one person, which of course you would be, this would be a great solo game, by the way. Someone invented a solo mode. But for multiple players, needless to say, you don't have a lot of honor. You're not well thought of in the world. And you're here, and now you have an opportunity to improve your honor. And you do that through exploring this island. Love the fact that it's random. I'll show you a couple of the tiles. The board itself, I mean, you're getting a good view of that. The actual board is here. I'm not going to open the whole thing up, I don't think, because you get a pretty good idea of what it looks like here when it's opened. There's a place for everything, though. There's a place for the cards, a place for various abilities that you can gain when you master certain things. Really well thought out. As are these game trays, both the one that everybody plays out of and then the individual ones that you get that kind of taken apart here, but everything fits perfectly in these things. Here's one of them here. You start out wretched, a guilt-ridden scumbag. This is the blue player. For the most part, everybody's the same. You have a different insignia. They're cool, they're metal. And then there's this component, which is really sharp. This is the one that everybody plays out of during the game. And there's 4 markers at the 30, 45, 60, and 75, I believe, intervals, every 15 interval. And is that right? Yeah. And every time you have one of these, you turn over another endgame condition, meaning that if any of the endgame conditions are satisfied, the game ends on the next round. So these are, I suppose, a way to speed up the game in case the air conditions aren't happening. Be more things that can happen. So this lid is actually something you can use too, because we prop it up like this. Then each one of these cards, each one of these go in one of these spaces. So you kind of free them up from in here, and allow them to be accessible there. It's just kind of cool looking. You can leave them in here if you want. The dice are big chunkers here. Look at those. Big dice. These are laser engraved. Very cool looking. When you fight a monster, you'll roll them. And other times, certain cards will tell you to roll those. I want to show you some of the cards. For instance, now these are, I've ordered some sleeves. These are 70 by 70. I think they're probably closer to 68 by 68 millimeters. So that's going to be not quite a quarter of an inch. I'm sorry. Not quite 2 1/4 inches. Not quite 2 1/2 inches. It's going to measure probably 2 1/2 if you were just a little past here. I was confusing myself with something else. I'm saying 1/4 of an inch. But so here's one, Zara, Daughter of Flame. You may split your movement before and or after your other actions, however you wish. That can be useful. In fact, they all are. You can tell these are linen. I wanted to be able to show that these are linen cards. Now, they are thin. See, some people are saying they worried that because they're cut like this, shuffling would be a problem. I have not seen any problem with shuffling them. They are thin, though. And I can tell you that they bend fairly easily. So, but they're easy to bend back. And they're nice cards. I think they're pretty durable. I did go ahead, though, and get the sleeves. I just want to keep them nice. I think this is a game that'll get some action. So I want to sleeve them. I got Mayday sleeves, but you can do what you like. So there's 3 different kinds of companions. Each one is kind of a different premise for them in some ways, I suppose. But all of them are similar in that they give you an ability, and you get honor for having them come on your side. Every time you get a card, by the way, this gives you 5 honor. The idea with the game is to regain your honor, which of course is in the form of points. Whatever player at the end game condition, after their last round, after the end game condition, has the highest points, highest honor, wins the game. They've done the best job with vindicating themselves. So here's the Scroll of the Highborn. When acquired, place 1 to 3 influence here. So you have these cubes that you can place on. And then when you return 1 influence, you can augment 1 potential to influence. So on your board, you're going to have a board. I'll show you that now. Give you some idea how to play this anyway. Take out some of these so I can get at these boards. And again, these are all the same. They're a different color. So this is the blue player here. And I know it's the blue player because there's a blue line that goes across it here. But other than that, they look the same. And they have a different insignia here. That's the blue insignia there, the star. So you look at this. Oops. Basically what this is, you have some cubes that are sitting on potential, some on influence, and some on conviction. You'll have like 8, and 3 or so to start out, something like that. So these have to be augmented over to influence. You can do a lot of things with these. You can charge a relic, activate a companion, gain various attributes using those. And conviction allows you to control the map region or empower the draw or prevent a champion from dying. Champion being one of your companions. You yourself will not die, but your companions might. So don't get too attached to them. So these are high quality. They're thick. They're nice. They're very thick. You can bend them if you really tried. I'm going to do them over my knee. I'd bend it, but they're going to hold up nicely. So that is that. And this is really, you're going to take cubes from here to here throughout the game, and that's going to cause you to be able to do things. So you want to hold on to the points there and use them. You can see some of the other quality items in here. Some of these are optional things for some of the, in fact, all these things here, 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 and here are all optional things for some of the bonus areas or expansions that are included with the game. I do want to show you a couple monsters. So here is the monster. Here's one of them. Jozo, Overlord of the Vortex. Here's one where you roll dice. You always get the credit for fighting the monster. You may die doing it, but you always get the credit for facing the monster. You may not kill it per se, but you've at least driven it away. So you face the monster, you get points for that. Here's another one. Another 5-pointer. Game end, gain 6 honor if you have at least 1 relic, 1 trait, and 1 monster card. Game end, gain 2 honor for every 2 conviction in your conviction sphere. So there's a couple of examples. Get the light out of there. I hate the overhead lights. There you go. So you get some figurines, miniatures. Oh, I should show you the tiles. The tiles are really cool. And they're just as thick as that other board. The black core there is really nice. They're 2-sided for a reason. But I'm not going to get into all that right now. There is a little difference between the two. This tells you that you can, in fact, go after monsters there. The Temple Ruins. Every single one of these has something different. These are some of the optional ones here too. Sacred Stones. We get an idea of the quality of the artwork, and then these sit on the board really nice. You can travel from one place to the other. You have you start out on foot, and you can upgrade your speed by gaining a horse and other means of transportation, other creatures to transport you around. Here's some of the miniatures then. Very cool. The detail's really nice on these. There's that one. Let's see what else we got here. This right here. That's cool too. Whether you do it this way, whether you do it this way. Either way, it's pretty cool. Again, each one of these are sort of a symbol that I don't want to say you worship, but represents your group or represents a group. Pretty cool. Each one of these is associated with one of the factions, one of the 5. This one's kind of cool too. And I think this is the last one here. No, this is a symbol that whoever the first player is has this. Represents, and this is kind of cool to represent whoever the first player is. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 of them. I think I showed all of them. Yeah, I did. And there's a creature you can battle that's back in there that won't get out. But he's pretty cool too. So that's the cards. And the card store here. Let's see how they store in the box. The creature's there. You've got these that I told you about before. Each one for one of the up to 5 players can play it. You put the tiles in a bag. Of course, it's a scumbag. Since you're a scumbag, this is embroidered on there, by the way. That's kind of cool. I found the bag to be a little small. Wish it would have been a little bigger, because when you fill it with 19 tiles, there's virtually no room to really like shake them up. So you really want to shake them up before you put them in, and just reach in and grab one out. And yeah, now I want to just talk about the game for a little bit. I found that the base game is cool, but if you play it once or so, you're probably going to want to add in some of the additional areas. Additional ways to get allies, additional ways to add things like secret quests. You start out with one, but if you add a certain tile, you can customize the game where you can get more. And there's a lot of, I think there's 6 or 7, I didn't count them, but I think there's 6 or 7 different expansions that you can play with this. So very cool. Here's a full box and how it's put together there. I think it's pretty good. Everything fits just right. Actually, these things can be thrown away. They actually caught an error and got rid of those, so those don't have to be in there. But everything really fits nicely. No chance of the board getting hurt. These will all be sleeved, and they do fit into these when they're sleeved. They'll stand up a little straighter probably when they're sleeved. But no problems. They're all nice. I said a couple of them did get bent a little bit. More slight curve, not a crease or anything. I'm not worried about that. So that is Vindication. We like it a lot. I haven't played it a lot yet, but like it a lot. And I think the more people I play with, I believe it'll be good with 4, 3, or 2. I think any of those combinations will be good, or 5 for that matter. I might be able to put together 5, but I can certainly put together 3 or 4. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. Great value in the game, as you can tell. Lots to do, lots of choices, random every time, lots of things you can use to expand. Lots of choices with these. You only ever play with 19, and there's probably 3 times that here, or at least 2 times that. So you can make choices as to what you want in your game. They give you some suggestions as to how to do it most efficiently. That's it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Take care. See you the next time.